I do remember that the first real intimate exchange I had with Srila Prabhupada, and pretty much the last one, was when my mom sent me a sweater. My mother lives in England, and she sent me this really nice wool sweater. And New Vrindavan was a mud hole. It was, just really dirty, and, it was really hard to keep anything clean. So I looked at this beautiful sweater, and it was like kind of saffron in color. And I said, well, I can't wear this, it's going to be trash in no time. I'll give it to Srila Prabhupada, and so somehow I preserved it in the brahmachari ashram in a plastic bag, kept it from getting dirty for probably a couple of months. And I was always thinking, oh, I can't wait to give this to Srila Prabhupada. And so then Prabhupada came to Boston when they first opened the printing press there. And it was a big occasion, and devotees from a lot of different cities went there, and we got in our panel truck and drove up, everybody from New Vrindavan. And so I'm clutching my sweater and, really looking forward to it. And so we get there, and I'm trying to figure out, well, how do I do this? I'm not one of the high muckety mucks, and they're all, going to be with Prabhupada. And so one evening after Artik, everybody was gathered for darshan, and they had created with a backdrop a separate room behind the temple, and that's where Prabhupada gave darshan. And so I just kind of said, okay, it's now or never, and burst in the middle of all this, and everybody kind of looked, who's this? What's he doing here? And I just sort of stammered, for Prabhupada, I have this sweater my mother gave me, and I want you to have it. And Prabhupada said, oh, no, I can't take it. And he said, your mother gave this to you, you take it, I can't take this. And Prabhupada saw the look on my face. I was crushed, I was just devastated. Oh, God. And so he saw that, and then he says, well, I think I said, oh, but Prabhupada, please, I was begging for my life here. And he was very kind, and he said, all right, well, then we'll exchange. And so he started, he had a sweater with these buttons on it, these big oak buttons. It was really a beautiful sweater. And he started unbuttoning it. It was a cardigan, and he took it off, and I was crying, and the devotees in the room were crying. It was, just like an example of loving exchange, and that, I don't know, it just bonded me so closely to Srila Prabhupada, and of course I'll never forget that. And it kept me going for a lot of years. There was one time when all of the temple presidents were called to Los Angeles. Prabhupada wrote that everyone should come to LA and see how a really good temple was run. And so we didn't, I guess Kirtanananda was the temple president at New Vrindavan at the time, but somehow I was elected to go. And and one of the things that I was supposed to do when I came was to tell Srila Prabhupada about the situation at New Vrindavan, because Hayagriva was, being Hayagriva, and kind of running roughshod over everybody, and everybody was really frustrated with having to deal with him. And so we wanted some kind of official sanction against Hayagriva, so that he wouldn't continue to make our lives so miserable. And so I hitchhiked out to Los Angeles, and then it was time for my darshan with Srila Prabhupada, and I was rehearsing this litany of grievances, that we had against Hayagriva, and I was going to make this case. And so when it was time for the darshan, I came in and paid my obeisances, and I was introduced, Prabhupada, this is Ranadhir, and he's from New Vrindavan, and Prabhupada got this look on his face, and he said, "And how is Hayagriva?" And it was just with such love and affection, and there went my whole thing. I couldn't say a word. I could definitely not say a bad word about Hayagriva, and so I remember that's really an example of the spiritual master, not only knowing your mind, but knowing how to change your heart. Je anilo